Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a beat to honor a true legend, the extraordinary life, the profound impact, and the just absolute undeniable talent of Oscar-winning singer-songwriter Glen Hansard. They say sometimes all it takes is one single song to completely change a life. And let's be honest, that's undeniably true, right? For literally millions of listeners all around the globe, that singular life-changing track was Falling Slowly. It was just this beautifully stripped-down song that touched so many hearts and ultimately transformed an independent Irish musician into an international star overnight. But guys, today we're faced with a genuinely heartbreaking reality. It's with super deep sadness that we have to pivot to today's breaking news. 56. That number represents a life and a completely brilliant career cut tragically short. Fans everywhere are just in total shock right now as we report that Glen Hansard has passed away at the age of 56. So what actually happened? Well, according to the Irish media reports pouring in, his sudden death followed a motorcycle crash right in his hometown of Dublin. As it stands at this exact moment, authorities are continuing their investigation into the collision, and we're definitely expecting more official details to emerge as that inquiry moves forward. As you can imagine, this news hit like a ton of bricks. It's left fans completely stunned and has sparked this immediate, massive outpouring of tributes. From devoted longtime listeners to fellow musicians and the whole entertainment community, people are really coming together. And they're remembering him not just as a gifted musician, but as a master storyteller, someone whose music left a lasting, indelible mark on their lives. To really grasp the sheer weight of that lasting mark, we got to step back a bit. Let's look at his honest roots in Dublin, Ireland. This is where he was born and where his intense passion for music first ignited, at a super early age. He was never about chasing that shiny, manufactured pop star persona. Not at all. He focused entirely on honest songwriting. Throughout his whole career, his work was anchored by these incredibly personal themes: love, hope, heartbreak, and just the everyday struggles and beauties of life. This was music that actually spoke to genuine human emotion. When we trace his journey, it's like watching a slow spark turn into a total wildfire. He evolved over the decades from cultivating a fiercely devoted local following to becoming a global phenomenon and ultimately leaving this massive legacy we're reflecting on today. Flashback to the early 1990s. He steps up as the frontman for the beloved Irish rock band The Frames. Success for the group? Well, actually, it was a real slow burn over time. But Hansard earned immense respect through these incredibly powerful, raw live performances. It was that pure authenticity that quickly made him one of Ireland's most cherished musicians. Then, 2007 hits, and wow, everything just completely shifts. Hansard stars alongside Czech singer-songwriter Markéta Erglova in the independent film Once. Now, this was a quiet, pretty unassuming movie, but the magic they captured on screen, it was absolutely palpable. You could literally feel it. Think about this. The circumstances behind the film were incredibly humble. It was made on a super modest budget, but you know what? That didn't even matter. Its emotional, grounded story and that unforgettable music completely transcended language and geography, just instantly capturing the hearts of audiences worldwide. And sitting right at the beating, emotional core of that beautiful film was, of course, the track Falling Slowly. That song took on a life of its own and went on to achieve the absolute ultimate cinematic honor, winning the Academy Award for Best Original Song. That massive achievement on the Oscar stage? A total game changer. It introduced Glen to millions of new listeners globally. It served as absolute proof that a simple, heartfelt song can have an extraordinary impact. It basically showed the entire music industry that you do not need a massive, overproduced pop track to move people to tears. Now, you might be wondering, what happens after you win an Oscar? Well, he definitely didn't just rest on his laurels. He kept recording deeply meaningful music, touring internationally, and collaborating with artists everywhere. But the most crucial point here is how he navigated that post-Oscar life. He refused to let that huge global spotlight change who he was at his core. He flat out rejected commercial trends, the big spectacle, and the constant chasing of fame. Instead, whether he was rocking major festival stages or playing in tiny, intimate venues, he leaned hard into honesty, vulnerability, and authenticity. He literally never stopped being a storyteller, first and foremost. Which, man, it just sadly brings us right back to today's heartbreaking reality. A truly remarkable, uniquely authentic journey has come to a really tragic end. Like we mentioned, we're still waiting on the official details from the ongoing inquiry into his passing in Dublin. But even though the circumstances are incredibly sad, the memory of what he gave to the world, that remains so vivid. So I want to leave you with this final thought because I think it beautifully sums up Glen Hansard's extraordinary life. Some artists become famous, right? But others become unforgettable. Glen Hansard absolutely, without a doubt, belonged to that second group. His music is this constant reminder that the quietest voices can often leave the deepest, most unforgettable impact on our lives. Though he might be gone, his storytelling is going to resonate for years and years to come. I'd love to know, what is the one song of his that changed something in you? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer today, and please keep his music playing.